Calling to order the regular meeting of the Jackson City Council. Today's date is January 27, 2026. The time is approximately 6:02 p.m. We will begin with the invocation by a ram in the bush, Pastor Robert Berry of Word of Life, Poindexter. And then we will have the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll ask Mr. Ashby Foote, Councilman Ashby Foote, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
Let us pray. God, we thank you for today, and we thank you for this opportunity that we get to come together. And Father, as we come, I pray that we are aligned in unity together with one heart, one voice, and one mind. For Father, it is our desire to see Jackson to continue to rise and move forward. And so we just thank you, Lord, that your plans, your timing, along with your leaders and the community coming together to fulfill your plan. We thank you for it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Pastor Berry. I really do appreciate that. Callaway Charger always comes in the clutch of circumstance. I appreciate that. Thanks again. Colleagues, are there any opening comments? Mr. Foote?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to open and close the meeting in honor of a great Jackson citizen, Mr. Guy Hobus, who passed away this past week. He lived here and was a member of the Christ United Church, but before that, he was on the national TV show, The Lawrence Welk Show, as a singer, and he was a longtime aide to Senator Trent Lott in the D.C. area, and a great citizen.
All right. Thank you. Is there anyone else? All right. Colleagues, we have a public hearing. Let's do item 2.
Order requesting the City Council review and vote to approve the signed variance request by Wimberley Realty Partners, LP, for Great Daniel Chevrolet to replace the 120-foot square foot damaged face of the existing non-conforming 47-foot tall pylon sign within a C3 zone that only allows pylon signs to be 35 feet in height.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this item? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of this item? Okay. Well, colleagues, let's go to item 34.
Order requesting the City Council review and vote to approve the signed variance request by Wimberley Realty Partners, LP, for Great Daniel Chevrolet to replace the 120-foot square foot damaged face of the existing non-conforming 47-foot tall pylon sign within a C3 zone that allows pylon signs to be 35 feet in height.
So moved.
Second.
All right, so moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? I know we talked about it at length yesterday in work session. All right, hearing none, all in favor? 6-0, thank you. Item 3.
Order requesting the City.
We don't have to do it? Works for me. All right, public comments. Okay, everyone, we will have 2 non-agenda items in public comment, and then we'll have 4 agenda item public comments. When you come up, as always, you will have 3 minutes to speak. At the 2.5 mark, you will be notified by the clerk that you have 30 seconds left. After that, you will be notified by the red sign, and we politely ask you to cease your comment, okay? I will say that, you know, while we do understand freedom of speech is limited. Your rights end where ours begin, okay? And so anything that is disparative, and as president of this board, I will have to maintain decorum in this room, okay? And so if there's a issue that you may have with a staff member or anyone, I'm going to ask that you please handle that outside, and maybe someone from the administration go out there with you. Number 1, we have Mr. Joe Wesson, business burglary on Bailey Avenue. When you come up, Mr. Wesson, please state your name for the record. At that time, you'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you for this opportunity to come up. I'm not very good at public speaking, but I did want to say that how nice it was to have somebody respond. Ms. Campbell responded right away, and I certainly do appreciate it. I also want to thank all the people who opened shelters and came together in our community to house the homeless. It was remarkable. And I also want to comment on the fact that our water system held up. Last time I had a lot of pipes break and a lot of plumbing bills, so I was real glad that it held up. And we can see the improvements in the city. The street lights are working, paving's being done, potholes are being filled in. It is wonderful, and I like that you're playing. Jackson Rise is a wonderful, thought-out plan. But I do see two Achilles heels that affect us a lot. One is drugs. We have a terrible problem with drugs, and I don't see, the people will even tell you where the drug places are. But I don't see us addressing those like we should. The other thing is that we have a lot of mental patients on the streets. I run into some that don't know, they're talking to themselves, and they're a danger to the public. And then we've had a lot of fires because people, particularly drug people and mental people, and combination of both, will go into houses and vacant buildings and burn them. That happened to me on Bailey Avenue more than once. And they'll strip all the copper out of the building, and they'll break your water lines and take the water lines apart. We need a comprehensive plan, and that's what I see as the Achilles heel to this, is that we really need to have a concerted effort to get the state, because many municipalities, I've seen this with my own eyes, bring people to Jackson, drop them off. We have institutions that drop people off here. And that Jackson should not be the dumping ground, nor should we take up the slack for all the other municipalities around here. They don't have the problems we have. I'm not saying they don't have some drugs, they do, but they don't have our problems. And frankly, it has cost us dearly. Our population has decreased. Businesses have fled the city. Our taxes have gone down. Our tax revenue has gone down to sustain the city. And what I would request is that a task force be implemented that includes the state government, which includes not only the legislature, but also includes the mental health department, Region 9, that includes the work, the programs that help people find work, train them for work. We need a systematic approach to this thing. We need to stop the dumping of people in here in Jackson, and that is addressed in here. I was glad to see it. Okay, that's the end of my time.
You did
I'm
great.
sorry.
Thank you.
But thank you for
Yes,
hearing
sir.
me out, and I think it's wonderful that we have a government that will listen to people, but we do have some serious problems.
Thank you, Mr. Wesson. Shante Wallace, issue with son. Shante Wallace. Okay, Shante Wallace. All right, we're gonna move on. Now we have 4 agenda items. Heather Logan, items 23 and 24. And can you adjust the mic so you can speak into the mic, please?
Certainly. How's that?
Perfect, thank you.
My name is Heather Logan. I've lived in West Jackson for the last 27 years, and 24 years ago, I bought my house there. 5 years ago, I went to get a home equity line of credit to make some repairs to my home, and the bank informed me that my house was worth less than a third of what I had paid for it. And were willing to give me a personal line of credit, but not a home equity line of credit. These are issues that we are facing in West Jackson for a myriad of reasons. And some of those are addressed in some of the agenda items today. And I'm here today as a representative of Citizens for Action. Several of us are out here today. Can y'all raise your hands? Several of us are here. And we are a group of West Jackson residents that started meeting in October of 2024 over our shared concerns for our city park, Pittman Park, which used to be called Poindexter Park, but is actually referred to by most Jackson residents and non-Jackson residents as the homeless park. We've continued to work together since that first meeting, holding weekly meetings for several months. And now we meet twice a month, every Tuesday, second and fourth Tuesday. Some of my fellow West Jacksonians who are signed up for public comment will tell you some more about the concerns and the efforts related to the park. But I actually came here to address an issue that we are having for the last 6 months. We've been trying to get a meeting with Mayor Horn, and he's not here tonight, unfortunately. But we have tried through text messages, through emails. We've spoke to Willie Bozeman. We've spoke to Mrs. Campbell. We spoke to Mrs. Harding. We've personally delivered a letter to the mayor. We've come up here in person to try to set up a meeting since July 21st. And we have gotten no response from anybody other than we'll get with his scheduler. And I realize that that's not y'all's responsibility. Like I say, we were hoping he'd be here tonight. But we have some concerns about our city. And right now it feels like our mayor doesn't want to meet with us because we can't get a meeting. No responses at all. So we had come here tonight for several reasons, but one of those is to say that West Jackson, we have a lot of issues. We're plagued with a lot of problems, but this is our home. And we're concerned about what happens there. We want to be involved in what happens there. We don't want plans made without us at the table. And we don't, we deserve to be at that table. We want that. So I don't know if Mr. Tawison or if there's someone else in this room that I can connect with before I leave, but we would like to try to set that meeting up with the mayor. Thank you.
The mayor's new chief of staff, Ms. Northington, is right there. She'll see you out in the lobby. Valerie Clark, items 23 and 24.
Good evening, everyone. I am Valerie Clark, a lifelong resident and homeowner in West Jackson, specifically Ward 5. Tonight, I want to talk about something that directly impacts my future in Jackson, Mississippi, the steady decline in our population. According to a 2024 article in the Jackson Advocate, Ward 5 decreased 13% during the U.S. Census period from 2010 to 2020. And according to a 2024 article from WAPT, Ward 5 lost about 3,000 people between 2010 and 2020. Population decline usually doesn't happen overnight. It happens when people feel they no longer have access to safe housing, quality education, reliable infrastructure, job opportunities, and basic services. In Ward 5, we have seen the effects of aging housing stock, vacant and abandoned properties, concerns about safety, limited economic opportunities, and a lack of consistent investment. When residents do not see a path forward for themselves or their children, many feel forced to leave in search of stability and opportunity. Me and my neighbors have stayed and have been fighting for a better tomorrow. As previously stated, our efforts have not been successful due to the lack of adequate support. I own my home, and me and my daughters live in their home, but it is so discouraging to meet with neighbors, make plans, meet with officials, and get no help, comfort, or assistance. It is getting harder to stay when I talk to family and realize I pay more for my water bill than my sister who stays in Brandon pays for hers, or my brother who lives in Gluckstadt pays for his. Or when my daughter purchased a new car and her car tag was over $900 for a Honda HR-V, but my brother paid less than $300 for a far more expensive car. The cost of living in Jackson for too long has far exceeded any benefits. Then, to add injury to insult, we are unable to get assistance with simple requests, things that already have ordinances in place and just need enforcement. But the decline in population is not just a symptom. It is also a warning. Jackson can never realize population growth until it plugs this hole in the bucket. And that hole only gets larger every day. Lifelong Jackson residents are moving because of the loss of hope. Nothing we have requested is hard or expensive to do, but no one seems to be interested in helping West Jackson. The more we talk, the more we are ignored and pushed aside. If the leadership doesn't start paying attention to and listening to the actual residents in West Jackson, you will see further population decline.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. Shante Crockett, item 23.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shante Crockett. I am a taxpayer and a homeowner in West Jackson.
Speaking to the-
Can you hear me?
You can move it towards you. Okay, thank you.
I didn't just move here in this neighborhood, I invested in it. I chose to live here. I chose to raise my family here. I chose to believe that West Jackson deserves the same care, protection, and opportunity as any other part of the city. And tonight, I'm asking you to hear us. West Jackson has historically carried a heavy burden when it comes to social services for the unhoused population. While I understand that everyone needs services across our city, my neighborhood can no longer be the default location for new programs. When one community is asked to shoulder a disproportionate share of the services, it has real consequences. It affects my property value, it affects my insurance rates, it affects my public safety, and affects the quality of life for families who live in West Jackson. As a homeowner, I am trying to build stability, maintain my property, and protect my investment. I pay taxes with the expectation that my city support balanced growth, not concentrate challenges in one area over and over again. There's a young man that an older young man that lives in our neighborhood. He bought his house in 1972 for $38,000. That house is worth $38,000 today. That's a shame. Hold on. This is not about rejecting people in need. It's about fairness and responsibility. Services should be distributed evenly throughout the city, not concentrated in one neighborhood that's already struggling to recover and rebuild. West Jackson is working hard to attract new homeowners, new businesses, new development. Added more social services here sends the opposite message. It discourages investment and reinforces the idea that our neighborhood is only suitable for problems and not progress. I'm asking you tonight to consider the long-term impact your decisions have, not just for those who need services, but those residents who are already here and trying to create a better future for our families. I respectfully ask you not to approve any additional services in West Jackson. Instead, commit to a citywide strategy that shares responsibility across all wards. I want West Jackson to be known as opportunity, not overload. Thank you for your time, for listening.
Thank you. And we have Ms. Sheila Harper, item 24.
Good evening. I'm here to actually talk about the same thing as being a West Jackson resident. And I want to say tonight to thank you because I want you to really listen to what West Jackson is saying. The reason why I'm here is to talk about the park at Pondexter. And it's called Pittman's Park, better known as Pondexter Park. And there's three things that I want to bring up. One of those things is safety. The other thing is sanitation. And one of them is vandalism. The safety issue is ever since April the 17th of 2019, that park has been without lights. We have fought, we have called, we have came to the city council talking about the same thing. It's unsafe for our neighborhoods, it's unsafe for me because I go to work at night and when I step out my doors, I'm faced to that park. To go without from 2019, that is a disgrace. So I'm saying that we were promised through the last administration, the end of December, that we would have lights by now. There's still no lights, and when I call, it's like nobody knows anything about it, but there was one lady that was in the office said that she did know. The other thing that I want to talk about is the sanitation. We have any given Saturday, there is from 9 to 10 organizations that disrespect our park. They park on the yards, the grass, like it's a parking lot. There's no permit that none of them, if you go out there and ask, that is given. We have signs posted saying that you're supposed to have a permit to do these things in the park. But when you have a disrespect of a certain area, it goes on deaf ears. I am so glad because I wanted to say this, but when I start talking about vandalism, we have vandalism in our park. If you go by and look at the gazebo, it's burnt, the bricks are knocked out due to, you're not supposed to stay there, but you can go by there any given night and there's fires being set there in the park. Look, we are not only staying here in Jackson and being homeowners, but we invest. And this is what hurts me tonight, because my mother saw a vision almost 30 years ago and invested in this neighborhood and still striving to make, my mother is 83 years old. She gets out there and pick up the garbage and the debris that's left behind when these people leave. There's so much that I got on my heart, but it's so much that I can only say because I'm telling you all, hear us. Come to our community, listen to what we have to say, because we have a lot. It's just not the ideas of this great stand that somebody else bring in, but we're showing the compassion because we have invested money. We have with us tonight Mr. Sylvester Smith, who lives in that neighborhood, not only as a homeowner, but an investor. We got Mr. Emmett. Oh, it's so many more that are pillars. And Mr. Robert Turner, who picks up, you can walk by and he's picking up trash from the park that has been destroyed from the park to our neighborhoods. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Harper? I'm sorry. Sure.
When do y'all meet?
We're getting started back, and we'll be meeting probably the third Tuesday, because I'm also with Citizen for Action. So our neighborhood association with the people that we have, second and fourth, I'm sorry. So we'll be like the Tuesday. Second and fourth Tuesday.
Where do you meet?
Right now, we're in proximity of trying to find a place, but we is meeting at like Pondexter Apartment.
I want to invite you guys to a meeting, and I'll get with somebody from your group, and we'll meet with you.
Okay.
Currently, can you give it
1433 Grand Avenue in Jackson, West Jackson.
14,
Citizens for Action.
1432,
1433
33 Grand Avenue?
Grand Avenue.
Okay, I thought y'all was talking about the Pondexter Neighborhood Association, so I'm sorry. Where we're meeting at Pondexter Place Apartments right now. You had something to say? And I really want to hear from you.
Your time was up. That's
Oh, okay. But you were one of the ones that I really wanted to hear from.
I'm
Okay,
not here to fight.
thank you.
I'm not here to fight.
All
Just let
right.
you know your time is up. Thank you. Mr. Hartley.
Yes, I just want to take a moment out to thank the folks that came up and spoke on behalf of West Jackson, Ward 5. Every one of these ladies are leaders in the community. They're not just resident, they are leaders. They know what's going on. And we have two items addressing the unhoused community, and that's one of the biggest concerns of the Citizens for Action now, along with the park. And I'm hoping that that we get that resolution concerning Ms. Pittman Park. And I'm not sure if you want to go to those items now or wait.
We got to get on with the.
Thank you for coming and speaking your heart.
Thank you. Consent agenda?
All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Colleagues, Mr. Foote, you got a question?
Thank you. I would like to, since we can't discuss them unless we pull items out, I'd like to pull out item 20, because I think it's worthy of discussion for our audience.
So the discussion yesterday wasn't.
Oh, it was good, but I think, the cameras are rolling, the people are here, the audience, this is an official city council meeting, and I think
Okay.
it's worthy of discussion. so everybody knows about it.
Have to put that to a vote. We did.
I thought any board member can call for consent.
I read where you have to put it to a vote.
I think we voted consent without that item, and then I think we immediately take that item.
Okay, well, we'll take that out and then go ahead and vote on consent and then circle back. Okay, just not right now. All right, so all in favor of the consent agenda, minus the item 20. All right, thank you. Now, item 20.
Order accepting the bid of Puckett Machinery Company for a compact hydraulic excavator crawler mounted CAT 336-08 with a 48-month or 6,000-hour maintenance contract and warranty, bid number 76585-101425.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Discussion?
Mr. President, if I could, I'm in favor of this item. I didn't pull it because I was not in favor. I'm in favor of this item. But I think it's a significant investment the city's making here, and for that reason, let me get the exact numbers. It's an investment of $450,000, I believe it is. And it's for an excavator and the hydraulic excavator crawler made by Caterpillar, and with a 48-month contract of either hours or months. And I think it's a significant investment for our landfill operation, which is important for us to succeed as a city. And I think the reason I wanted to talk about it is just because the citizens need to know that we're making important investments in our capital infrastructure and the equipment to make the city functioning in a professional manner. And if the Public Works Director would like to say anything about it, he's welcome to.
Lorenzo Anderson, Public Works Director. I think you said enough, Mr. Foote.
Okay.
Yeah, just one comment. Again, this equipment is required by Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality for the operation of that landfill.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And we certainly appreciate it. Now, since it has such a hefty price tag, are we going to ensure that the folks operating it can operate it to the best of their abilities and not break it?
Yes, sir. Any new equipment that we receive like this, we get the manufacturer to do a training on it. With that training, they will come and do an in-person training and make sure, as far as maintenance and the manual, to make sure we take care of the equipment to make it last as long as it is possible.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions or comments about item 20? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0, thank you. All right, introduction of ordinances.
An ordinance of the City of Jackson, Mississippi prohibiting the unauthorized transport and drop-off of unhoused individuals into the City of Jackson by outside municipalities, jails, mental and behavioral health facilities, nonprofit organizations, private groups, or individual, providing for coordinated enforcement and for related purposes.
All right, Mr. Hartley, you wrote this item, this ordinance?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. This is called the Unhoused Anti-Dumping and Coordinated Placement Ordinance, and it's designed to stop uncoordinated drop-offs of individuals into the City of Jackson by outside parties while ensuring humane and planned placement. This ordinance prohibited unauthorized transport and drop-off of an unhoused individual in Jackson by outside municipalities, by jails, prisons, and detention centers, by mental health and behavior health facilities, by nonprofits, outreach groups, private entities, informal groups, and individuals acting alone or with others. And again, this is designed so that we can provide humane care to individuals. And I mentioned it yesterday, it's not like dropping off a stray someplace that you just want to get rid of. These are human beings that need help, and drop them off at the side of the road, that doesn't guarantee that help. We need improved coordination. Incidentally, several years ago, there was an individual dropped off by police over off of Highway 18. That individual later went into traffic and was killed. You know, we want to make it clear, no leaving someone on the sidewalks, streets, parking lots, transit stops, outside service sites without coordination, even if the person agrees. So again, there will be a fine, and I would ask my colleagues to review this, and if we need to increase that fine or whatever, or any other changes. Now, this action is not designed to penalize the unhoused or the homeless community. It's designed to protect them by requiring the individuals, okay, with the unplanned drop-offs, it can leave people stranded without a bed, without service, and without safe transportation. Some of these folks will even migrate into communities to have a house over their, a roof over their heads. Sometimes it reverts, it goes on to people being squatters. Sometimes it may even lead to fires and other issues that can further victimize folks. Now, the key here is a regional responsibility. We are explicitly calling on surrounding municipalities and facilities to create and adequately fund their own local programs, including shelters, short-term stabilization options, coordinated entry systems, case management and rehousing pathways, partnership with local nonprofit and providers. Again, we're trying to protect. What it does not do, this ordinance does not criminalize homelessness or penalize someone for being unhoused. Does not stop people from coming to Jackson on their own. Independent travel is not covered. It does not block legitimate verified placement when the receiving facility has already accepted the individual. Again, the bottom line, this ordinance to target irresponsible dumping, reinforces regional responsibility and make it clear that every municipality must build and fund its own response, while also protecting unhoused individuals from abandonment and harm through verified coordinated placement. We encourage the rest of my council colleagues to review and see if there's anything they want to add or delete. Yes, sir.
All right. This is just an introduction. We'll have a chance to
I wanna-
discuss it
okay.
when it rolls over into the agenda.
Oh, we can't make a discussion item now?
Y'all spoiling all the fun. It's just an introduction.
Yeah, I know.
And actually, he went above and beyond. It's what we should- No, we're just introducing it, and we'll be able to discuss it once it hits the agenda for consideration. Okay, y'all cool with that? I know it's all right, because he got to talk about 24 now. Item 24, please. This is just an introduction.
Ordinance of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi, imposing a temporary moratorium 180 days within Ward 5 on the submission and acceptance of applications for new or expanded cover unhousing uses in new buildings primarily for charitable food distribution, providing limited exceptions, a time-limited study period, and reporting requirements.
Yes, council colleagues, this is also something that addresses, in a way, homelessness and other issues of services. You've heard from the individuals that came up, at least 4 or 5, that talked about some of the issues we're having over in Ward 5 and in West Jackson. This puts a pause to the permitting and licensing of other facilities until we can get a handle on this thing of unhoused. And I'll leave it there for right now, Mr. President.
Good job, good job. Again, colleagues, we will have an opportunity to discuss these 2 items at the next council meeting. At that point in time, you will have the ability to, as Mr. Hartley stated, if you want to adjust or amend it any kind of way, and then we'll bring it up for a vote at the next council meeting, okay? All right, next we have the adoption of an ordinance, item 25.
Ordinance amending Section 2-62 of the Jackson Code of Ordinances.
A second.
All right, so moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item?
Mr. President, if the clerk of council can just refresh us with the basics of this item.
Clerk of Council Shanikia Jordan, this ordinance changes all city council meetings to 10 a.m. instead of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. every other Tuesday.
Just a point of clarification, it's not 6 PM every other Tuesday, because in the instance in which there are three meetings per month, it is just the one. So
Just the
all we
second
have
meeting.
is,
That's correct.
so
And then
all
it
we have
starts.
is a total of 12 meetings per year that are held at 6 PM.
That's correct.
Thank you.
All right. Any more questions or comments? All in favor? All opposed?
Stay.
All right. 4-0-4-1. All right, thank you. Claims.
Order approving claims appearing at pages 172 to inclusive thereon on municipal docket of claims in the amount of $2,974,948.20 for and making appropriation for the payment thereof.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. May we get large claims, please?
Jillian Caldwell, CFO. The four largest claims are as follows. The Evans Agency, Inc., the amount is $355,424 for the payment of the workers' comp December 2025 premium from Fund 1, General Fund. The second largest claim is to Metro Jackson Convention and Visitors Bureau. The amount is $289,205.95. This is for the payment of the Visitors Bureau transfer taxes for January 2026 from Fund 203, Jackson Convention and Visitors Bureau. The third largest claim is to R&C Services LLC. The amount is $208,625. The payment is the half payment for the demolition of 1769 University Boulevard, paid from Fund 447 DFA, Senate Bill 2468 Blight Properties. The fourth largest claim is to Bancorp South Bank. The amount is $197,596. This is for the payment of the landmark TIF debt service payment for March 1st, 2026 from Fund 268, the 2019 TIF Bond 1.8 million landmark fund.
All right. Any questions or comments about claims, Mr. Parkinson?
Mr. President, I see that there is about a little over 180,000 set to be paid from Fund Line 9. I'm assuming we have still not received sanitation funds from Jackson Water and that we have insufficient funds to make that payment this time. Is that an accurate statement?
Drew Martin, City Attorney. I'm going to defer the exact answer to that to the CFO, but I did want to advise the council, I was going to tell you this evening regardless. We do have a commitment from Jackson Water to begin paying sanitation fees for 2026, beginning with what is owed in January. Those payments are due 45 days after, so we haven't received that first payment for January yet, but we should shortly. And we have a commitment that's on the record in federal court that they will continue to make those payments throughout 2026. We do not have an agreement yet on the back payments, and we're working on it. But we do have that going forward, and I wanted to make sure the council was aware.
Thank you so much. Any more?
So, but my specific question is, as of right now, we do not have sufficient funds to cover the 180,000 that's listed for Fund Balance 9. Is that correct?
For Fund 9, yes, that's correct.
Mr. President, I move that we amend the claims docket to cover the items currently listed as Fund Balance 9 to be paid for using any available funds with the intent of reimbursing from Fund Balance 9 if reimbursements are made.
Second.
All right, so moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this amendment? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. So now we have the claims on the floor as amended. Mr. Foote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I usually complain about the Entergy bill when it shows up on our list of the biggest claims, but it didn't show up this time. But turns out they're all the way from pages 17 through 35 are all Entergy bills of a variety of size. I have no idea what the total amount is, but the only reason I bring that up is I want to thank the Entergy line workers for all the hard work they did on Sunday. bringing the power back on when this terrible storm hit and knocked out power through a lot of communities. They were really early on, they were out there and they worked really hard during the course of the day to get power on. So maybe this month we got our money's worth. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right, all in favor of claims? 5-0, thank you. Payroll?
Order approving gross payroll, including payroll deduction claims number 33484 to and making appropriation for the payment thereof.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments by item 27? Hearing none, all in favor? You got it, clerk? All right. 28.
Order ratifying payment to Roto-Rooter invoice number W559-378-251-223003 pursuant to the emergency declaration for emergency sewage mitigation services at the Jackson Police Department headquarters.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about 28? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. 29.
Order ratifying the acceptance of services rendered from Cummins, Inc., doing business as Cummins Sales and Service, Inc., and authorization of payment in the amount of $34,851.77.
So moved.
Second.
That's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about 29? All in favor? 5-0, thank you. 30.
Order ratifying the acceptance of services rendered from Clark Power Services, Inc., and authorization of payment in the amount of $6,285.34.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. Item 31.
Order ratifying the continued use and authorizing the payment for license and services in the amount of $101,076.41, invoice 025-528492, provided by Tyler Technologies for the Municipal Court Encode System.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? Mr. Foote?
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to, the administration mentioned it yesterday, but I look forward to an overview of all the different software licenses that the city pays for across all the different departments. I'm sure it's a lot of money, and I think we might be able to have some savings there with a thorough review by somebody who understands what they, what to look for.
Peter Taverson, CAO. As we discussed yesterday, we've convened a working group to review the software. I will go ahead and distribute to the council. We have a spreadsheet of the current software we use, which departments use it, and the amount we're paying for it. Again, it's about $2.2 million, or 2% of our general fund. We'll share that with you, and then as we, in this working group, have recommendations, we'll bring that back to you. But I think that will allow you to be better prepared to question us. So we'll share that with you this week.
All right, thank you. Any more questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Item 32.
Order ratifying the continued use and authorizing the payments for license and services in the amount of $394,205.06, invoice number C1100-00228741, provided by Tyler Technologies, Inc., for Munis, the city's financial systems.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Item 33.
Order ratifying the use of Tyler Technologies Disaster Recovery Content Manager and Cashiering Solution in the amount of $135,050.33, invoice 045-537786.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about item 33? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? 4-1. All right, 34.
Order requesting the city council review and vote.
We did 34.
34.
Sorry. Do we still have to do 35? No?
They're pulling 35.
All right, thank you. 36.
Order authorizing the payment of $4,000 to Advanced Environmental Consultants, Inc. for lead-based paint inspection and lead-based paint risk assessments.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about item 36? All in favor? 37.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute an amendment to the agreement with the Jackson Redevelopment Authority, JRA, related to the space station exhibit at the Russell C. Davis Planetarium to extend the period of performance and to modify the funding source from 2023 and 2024 CDBG funds to the city's 2025 CDBG fund allocation.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. We had a very in-depth conversation about this yesterday in work session. Are there any more comments or questions about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? 5-0. Thank you, colleagues. 38.
Resolution between the Madison County Board of Supervisors, the Hinds County Board of Supervisors, the City of Jackson, the City of Ridgeland, and the Madison County Economic Development Authority to commence a regional partnership effort dedicated to the improvement of the West County Line Transportation Corridor.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about 38? Yes, sir. Ms. Foot?
Yeah, I think this is really a really big deal, and they gave us a thumbnail sketch of it last night, but I'd like to know more about this, and Secretary Espy's here to tell us about it. That's awesome.
Drew Martin, City Attorney, that's exactly what I was going to do, is introduce Mr. Espy and ask him to talk about this a little bit. He's got a lot more information about it.
Of course. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the council, to the administrator, to the public. I'm Mike Espy. I'm a business owner in Jackson, but tonight I'm representing the Madison County Board of Supervisors as its council. There's a resolution that I've given to the mayor and the administrator, really establishing a regional alliance between the City of Jackson, City of Ridgeland, Hinds County Board, and the Madison County Board, and Makita, which is the Madison County Economic Development Arm, for the purpose of improving, modernizing, expanding West County Line Road, all the way from I-55 to Highway 49, to expand it 4 lanes or even beyond. The Board of Supervisors of Madison County intends to finance or source financing for this. So we don't envision there be any financial ask of the City of Jackson, nor any other partner. We believe that we have the sources identified, but we need your help because this transportation corridor is called the West County Line Road Transportation Corridor, flows through 4 jurisdictions: yours, Jackson's, Hinds County, Ridgeland, and Madison County. So it's going to take everyone to join together to make it happen. Certain board members of Madison County have already been to Washington to meet with the executives at the Department of Transportation to talk about a funding opportunity. We feel pretty good about that. You also know that the Amazon Data Center is building near Tougaloo, and they've already been approached about this project, and I think, of course, I can't divulge anything, but we feel really good about that corporation participating. And so it's going to be built in 3 segments. The first will probably be at Tougaloo, and the other 2 will be coming later. So $33 or so million to begin with, we believe, and but we need this regional alliance to be established because there'll be times that we all need to call our delegation in Washington, our delegation in state government, write letters, call Mayor Horn to advocate for this. And so we need your help. So this is a resolution just to get started. Later on, there'll be other documents about responsibilities. But I will tell you, giving money to this for you would not be a responsibility. So any questions?
None? All right. Okay, Ms. Clark.
So we're not responsible for any money with this?
Madison County Board of Supervisors voted to begin this project. The Board of Supervisors will be the sponsor of this project. They've already indicated this to the federal government. So it's envisioned, and I said the same thing to the Hinds County Board of Supervisors, and we had the same question. We don't envision any financial requests from the City of Jackson for this.
And this doesn't obligate us to anything with the I see you shaking your head.
This-
I want Mr. Espy to
This is
answer the question.
this is a
okay?
resolution.
Okay?
This is a resolution to
I
establish
got you.
a regional
I know
alliance.
that more is coming after the resolution, right?
There'll be more coming.
Yes.
But,
I understand. So I don't want us to vote on the resolution if more is coming is not in the resolution. That's all I'm asking. I saw it on TV.
All I can
I'm
say,
in favor of it.
I'm the hired hand. I don't envision, they've discussed it. The Board of Supervisors of Mascot will be the sponsor of the West Carolina Road Transportation Corridor Program. We don't envision to ask for any funds from other partners. If that changes, I'll be the first one to call your lawyer.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Hartley.
Yeah, just one question. Will there be an opportunity for public input and public hearings and so forth on this?
Later on.
Yes.
This is just creating the alliance.
I understand.
Yeah.
But later on, there will be public input.
Yeah. If we need the Florida bond for this in the county, there's always a hearing for that.
Thank you, sir.
But right now, we've identified sources of funding, not conclusive, but we anticipate doing well with it.
Thank you.
All right, any more questions or comments about this item? All right, hearing none, all in favor? 6-0, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Espy. 39,
Order authorizing the mayor to execute a professional services agreement with Cornerstone Engineering LLC for structural and foundation assessment of the building located at 545 Nakoma Drive.
So moved.
it's been moved and properly second. We talked about this at length yesterday in work session. Are there any more questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? 6-0, thank you. Remember, Mr. Taylor said Wallace Street. All right, item 40.
Order authorizing the mayor
gave
to
it to
ask,
them all.
to execute task order number 3 to a professional engineering services agreement with Integrated Management Services, Inc. for the Infrastructure Modernization Program.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments by item 40? Hearing none, all in, yes, sir, Mr. Foote.
So what is task order number 3?
That's the one we talked about.
Task Order 3, Lorenzo Anderson, Public Works Director. Task Order 3 is part of a $40 million bond. It's adding streets, there's a list of streets on the agenda: Beasley, Whitestone, Woodhill, Hanging Moss, Northside Drive, St. Andrews, and Floral Drive. It was around 7.9 miles. So the task order is adding streets to the already existing list. I can't go down the whole list right now, but it's around $15 million.
So task order 2 was the design, and now is this the execution of the design?
No, this is, what happened was, already previously, task order 1 and 2, and the contract was approved. With the new administration, added streets to the existing contract. So it was out of the $40 million we still had. I think it was like $31 million. So it was added like $5 more million to that. So the total is around $36 million now. So with that, this is including the engineering to add those streets.
So this is the engineering to add the streets, so is task, the actual execution and the beginning of the
Mr.
street
Foote,
repair.
can you speak into your mic, please?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So is this task, the actual work on the streets, is that task order number 4? Or is that part of this, at task order 3?
No, after the engineering is complete, they are probably 90% complete with the first 1 and 2. They're going to go and design these, if approved by the council. Once they do that, they're going to add that to the bid package to advertise for bids, which is around a 5-week process. So we don't have to come back to the council for permission to advertise.
So
So it does inform the council of every step that,
So can we expect the work on these streets that are listed here to begin in the, like, spring, like April or something like that?
I wouldn't say April, probably May or June.
Okay. I mean, I got a lot of people asking me questions about it, so that's great. Thank you.
Mr. Hartley?
Yeah, I think we asked you in the work session yesterday for a complete list of those streets. If he emailed, okay.
Yeah, I emailed, it was a long list, so
Okay.
I didn't want to go through all of them.
I think it's 38 pages. I printed it out today.
It's around 45 miles of street, so.
Do you have them broken down by wards?
Yes, they're broken
Okay,
down by
excellent.
wards.
We'll send that to the printer.
Okay.
Okay.
You can look at that. Okay.
I'll give,
I got to
thank
have
you.
my hands on stuff.
All right.
All right, thank you. Any more questions or comments by item 40? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? That was 6-0? All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. 41.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding with Gray Local Media, Inc., WLBT TV, for beautification of property adjacent and across from WLBT TV.
So, second,
Been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item?
just a comment, Mr. President,
Go ahead.
and that is thanks to WLBT. We appreciate them cleaning up the spaces around their buildings. We appreciate the efforts of them talking about the blighted conditions around the city, and they're taking a step. It's something other businesses need to emulate, and that is cleaning up around your own property and along your own street.
I agree with that. All right, any more questions or comments by item 41? Hearing none, all in favor? 6-0, thank you. 42.
Resolution authorizing the submission of applications to the Jackson Metropolitan Planning Organization for federal surface transportation block grants and committing matching funds for projects if awarded federal funds.
So moved.
Second?
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? 6-0, thank you. 43.
Order authorizing payment of $6,282 to Lee Taylor Jr. as full and complete settlement of a claim for property damage at 1108 Craft Street.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about item 43? Nope. All right, all in favor? 44.
Resolution of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi approving the form of and authorizing the execution of an interlocal corporation agreement between Hinds County, Mississippi and the City of Jackson, Mississippi pursuant to Sections 21-45-1 et sec Mississippi Code of 1972 as amended in Section 17-13-1 et sec Mississippi Code of 1972 as amended for the installation, construction, operation, maintenance, and funding of infrastructure improvements related to tax increment financing plan, Prado Lofts at Meadowbrook, City of Jackson, Hinds County, Mississippi, August 2025, and for related purposes.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about 44? Hearing none, all in favor? 6-0, thank you. 45? I'm sorry. Hold 45.
45 and 46, all of Councilman Stokes' items were on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think I lost some pages here. All right, so we will now. To discussion, item 47, Mr. Tableson, public property maintenance.
Thank you, Mr. President. Peter Taverson, CAO. Since the budget cycle in August and September, the city council expressed its displeasure with how public grounds were maintained across the city. And internally, we have had a number of meetings trying to figure out what a good approach is, considering our limited resources and limited number of employees. And just so the public understands, we have about 111 square miles of public property maintained, and we have one of the lowest population densities for any city of our size. We have about 140,000 people in 111 square miles, which makes this task fairly challenging. The administration wants to propose to the city council, and we'll put this out here tonight. I think it would be proper for a more detailed briefing in a public works meeting. But we would like to ask the city council to consider issuing a bid for the major thoroughfares as you did last year, but this bid is revised based on the feedback that all of you gave us as to what contractors were performing, not performing, and which major thoroughfares should be grouped together. That would be one piece of this. Second piece of this would be bids for secondary thoroughfares by ward. And for that, we would need each of you as council members to tell us what you consider your secondary thoroughfares. Obviously, you'll have a list of identified primary thoroughfares, but what are the secondary thoroughfares that you want cut in your ward? The hope there is that you will help us identify local Jackson contractors who have capacity to maintain right-of-way and other public property within the wards at a cost-efficient model. Third, we have assembled, as we discussed during budget, a new set of in-house crews by taking what was previously called parks maintenance. And I really respect the ladies who were here earlier who said we're not necessarily getting all the park maintenance we should, and I think they are correct. But we have 57 parks for a population of 140,000, and that is simply disproportionate with the number of parks for the population. So our in-house crews have been moved from Parks and Rec over into Public Works, and we've created a grounds preservation division. They will be expected to cut our larger parks. Again, we need some input from council members as to the priority parks in your ward. Councilman Foote, that's pretty easy for you. For some of the rest of you, you're going to have a bigger challenge. Those crews will help with that. We'll prioritize those parks. They will also do curb and gutter, and they will assist with cutting on the secondary thoroughfares. And then fourth, we're going to complement this with the community improvement efforts who are already cutting small lots, but figure out if there's a way we're still trying to fit that piece in to make that more complementary with what Public Works is doing. Several individuals have participated in this planning, being Director Anderson and myself. From there, James Caldwell, Lakeisha Weathers, Samantha Graves, and Steve Hutton have all had a large amount of input as we try to put this together. Councilman Hartley, if you would like to put us on one of your agendas for a Public Works meeting, all of those individuals will be here and be present so we can detail this further in how we want to have this approach.
Yes, and we will, Jar, if you would make a note to add that to the meeting agenda.
And so the thought process here is to make sure that we don't have the complaints we had last year about, for example, Highway 18, which was one that we had received a lot of complaints. It's not the only one, but that's one that was persistent in terms of complaints. And it turned out that the contractor who won the bid last year, they simply didn't have the capacity to do Highway 18 in the manner in which it needed to be done. So we took what was done last year, have sat down and revised it, and we think we have grouped the public properties in such a way that this will give us the best bang for the limited resources we have. We also need the public to understand we're going to need your help. As we look at parks and neighborhoods, and I'm not talking about the Pittman Park, but a number of pocket parks or smaller parks we have. Willie Henry Park is an example in the Norwood area. The park at North Cape behind Fire Station 21 and 23 is another example. We're going to ask neighborhoods to step up and help maintain those parks, and we're going to propose to the city council that we spend some money with neighborhood associations. If they're willing to step up and do the labor, we think cost-efficient wise, we can identify funds to give to those homeowners associations or neighborhood groups, I shouldn't say give, to help offset the cost. In other words, if they'll do the labor, we'll figure out how to supply some fuel, money for weed eater string, and things like that. I just wanted to present an overview before we bring any official action before the city council. We would anticipate bringing the bid for the major thoroughfares in February because we want that bid. We want to receive the responses, and we want to identify these folks so we're on top of this before grass cutting season. I understand last year was probably May before the city really started cutting grass. Our intention is to be cutting grass in April this year as soon as it grows. So that's the high-level overview of the four-point plan or four pillars that we're trying to put together, and we will provide more detail at the appropriate time.
Before I go to Mr. Foote and Mrs. Clay, and then Mr. Hartley, I would like to see better coordination between planning and public works to get these signs off these right-of-ways. We already have ordinances on the books.
Yes, sir.
People run, we all ran. Get your sign up. I pay my folks to get the sign up. We got signs down from 3 election cycles ago. And you got, rappers, and I love rap, but you putting signs down. I think we need to better coordinate that because you can't go to Clinton and just put signs down. You can't just go to Byron and put signs down. Same thing with Madison. So if we go clean up the city, we got to get all of it. And so that's my point. Mr. Foote.
Let me respond to that.
Sure.
You're absolutely correct, Mr. President. We actually have ordinances on the books. I don't know at what time we stopped enforcing those. When I was city attorney, public works crews would routinely pick up signs that were placed incorrectly in the right-of-way or were left more than, I want to say it's more than 5 or 7 days after the election. We would not throw those out, but we would collect all those, take those to a central city facility and alert the campaigns. If you want your signs, come get them. And if not, after 30 days or something, we would dispose of them. I agree with you, Councilman, President Hartley. We have not been aggressive enough at that. I've made a note. We will fold that in to what we're doing.
All right, thank you. So Mr. Foote, then Mrs. Clay, then Mr. Hartley.
Can I
And
follow
then
up
Parkinson.
on what he just said? And Mr.
Foote, you
Taylor-
yield?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, just on basically what you just said, there's a lot of signs that are on power poles too. Can you all just automatically take those down or have Public Works to take those down?
It's unlawful. They should be coming down.
I have an answer, but I haven't talked with my attorney. I don't know that, since we don't necessarily own those poles, I want to be careful what I say publicly.
Okay.
But let me say this, there's no reason physically, if we're going to be picking up signs in the right of way, we can't also get the signs off of the pole.
There's an ordinance that speaks to that. So, but you the lawyer. All right.
No, Mr. Merton's your lawyer on these matters.
Is there a penalty? Because I don't want us to be spending all day, our public works crew, just taking down signs all day.
It's a low
If they're gonna
penalty.
keep
It's
putting them up,
a
keep
very
putting them
low
up, keep putting
penalty,
them up,
but
keep putting them up.
But again, since we have two really great new directors, I would really like to see them better coordinate this effort and just clean it up. All right, so Mr. Foote, then Mrs. Clay, and then Mr.
Thank you.
Parkinson.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I just want to say this too before he goes. We got a request to go into executive session, so, all right.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to agree dramatically with you as it applies to the massive areas of parks we have and the lack of resources to really maximize their value, their ability to add value to the community life around here. And I think a good place to start in trying to tackle that problem is with a lot of the folks that participated in the Jackson Rising. I could see putting together a task force there of public-private partnerships that could come up with new creative solutions on what to do with the parks to make them, community-friendly and add value to the city. Our best example in Ward 1 is because of a public-private partnership with the Flores Foundation, and I bet you there's lots of other folks out there that participate in the Jackson Rising thing that could come up with some both resources and some imagination in tackling all the public parks we've got.
Thank you, sir. I think we are thinking along the same lines, and that certainly was mentioned when I was with Jackson Rising, so we'll follow that up as well.
I think with the number of unhoused people we have in the city of Jackson, I think maybe we could start a lawn service or have them cut for a minimum amount, X number of hours, even if we did it through a temp service or something, to give them opportunity and for jobs, and that would help the income instead of having a third party or have somebody with a contract and hiring them for the same price that they're gonna pay. I think we really need to start looking at our in-house resources and see what we can do. And I know we always use the excuse that people won't come to work or they don't come to work, but they will come to work if they're paid fairly and treated well, and that's a way out for them.
Mr. Davidson, I just had one question, and you had talked about neighborhoods and all looking for people around, contractors that can do the work. Is there a particular number or department or something they need to call in to if they want to be on a certain list for that?
I would ask that they call Lakeisha Weathers, who is our solid waste manager. She's not the only one participating in this process, but she has graciously taken the administrative lead for all of us who are working on this. So Lakeisha Weathers in Public Works, solid waste manager.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I just want to commend you, Mr. Tewison. I want to commend the mayor and the whole team for working on this. This is a very big, thorny problem, and I'm sure we're going to have to work out the specifics of the pillars, and there might be agreement or disagreement on various points, but you've really taken a comprehensive study of this issue and making sure that mistakes that have been made previously will not be made again. And I appreciate that. I know we came into office during grass cutting season and people wanted immediate response, which I get. But it's a thorny problem and you've really studied it during the cold months. And I trust that by the upcoming grass cutting season, we're going to be in a much, much better place because of your leadership and the leadership of everyone you mentioned. So thank you.
All right. Any more input on item 47? Item 50, review of the continuation of the COVID local protocols. Show of hands. All right, very good. There are no presentations, proclamations, or resolutions. Item 51.
Monthly financial reports as required according to Section 21-35-13 of the Mississippi Code annotated of 1972.
All right. Show of hands that you got your reports. All right, thank you. Now, I need a motion to go into closed session for the purposes of discussing.
2 litigation matters, 1 contract matter, and an audit matter.
All right, all in favor? Well, I need a motion.
So move.
Second.
It moved and properly second to go into closed session for the purposes of going into executive session to discuss legal matters and something with dealing with contracts. All in favor? All right. If you are not party to this conversation, we kindly ask that you leave the chambers. Media, please take your cameras. All right, we are out of executive session. No official action was taken. Colleagues, is there anything else coming for this body? Yes, sir, Mr. Parkinson?
Announcements. Are you ready for announcements?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Mr. President. James Beard Award is a very famous culinary award, and in the entire state of Mississippi, there's only 2 chefs in our state that have been nominated for the James Beard Award, and one of those 2 is a Jacksonian. Hunter, who is the chef at not Polito, my apologies, at Alvy's, has been nominated, and so we should find out in March, and hopefully he'll be bringing home a win. Hunter Everett.
All right.
That's right.
And while the Michelin restaurants are in Ward 7, the best soul food is in Ward 4. Is there anything else to come?
I got a few that I would disagree.
Ms. Brown Thomas?
I just want to recognize Councilwoman Tina Clay for the excellent jobs you did in that ward by helping the homeless. That was excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Council President.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President, want to announce for the public that there is a Go Red part of Power a Healthy Heart at the Jackson Medical Mall Conference Center, 350 Woodrow Wilson Avenue. That will be February 7th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Go Red event for Power a Healthy Heart, Jackson Medical Mall, February 7th at 10 a.m.
All right. Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
February 7th will be my 3rd year since open heart surgery, so I hope that the city will celebrate Healthy Heart Month, and thanks y'all for ordering the red shirts, but it is a very special day for me, February 7th, so, yeah.
All right. Anything else? All right. It is 7:40. We are adjourned.